Hey there, how are you? Mojo Medium here. And if you're watching me on Facebook, uh, or maybe in the replay, because I might use this one, I've got this really kind of weird, creepy kind of filter. So, I mean, I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'm sorry, this is just me. No filters here. So maybe I should put a little Vaseline on the lens, right? All right. Welcome to Magic and Meaning with Mojo Medium. I am your spirituality mentor, manifestation genius, favorite know-it-all. And oh yeah, a little bit of a psychic medium for like a long time. So I want to ask you to subscribe to my newsletters at mojomedium.com, and also please subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast and be sure to tell your friends. Okay, the name actually it might change again. I had the MoJo show, and I was like, well, that really doesn't say enough about what it is. You could just be like, oh, the MoJo show. And there's another MoJo show out there. So then I changed it to like something along meditation, manifestation, and miscellany. Now I've got magic and meaning, which I like. I always love alliteration. I don't know about you. And um, now I'm thinking maybe I should change it to something woo woo this way comes. I think I used that on something a long time ago, and I don't remember what I used it on. And I haven't checked to see if anybody else is using it. But I'm thinking something woo woo this way comes would be good because it would kind of give you a good idea of what I'm about because it's all the woo woo stuff, right? Right. All right. I'm distracting myself with that filter on Facebook. And I'm also kind of tilting, I think, maybe. Okay. Doesn't matter. Hi. Welcome to whatever the name of this show is. I have been having a little bit of fun with TikTok. Are you on TikTok? Do you follow people on TikTok? You can follow me, Mojo Medium, of course. And I think I can't look it up on my phone because I'm on my phone. I think it is mojo.medium for some reason. It should be the Mojo Medium on everything. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. You can follow me on Facebook on my personal page, Susan Morrow Johnson, blah, blah, blah. I think you know all that. Let's get on with the show, shall we? Shall we? All right, I just chose the topic. I came in from getting a much needed pedicure. I mean, bag those toes. They were disgusting. Like, oh my God, gag me with a spoon. Okay. Do you remember that song where she said, bag those toes? Yeah. So I came in from a much needed pedicure and I was like, oh gosh, I have to do a show. And what am I going to talk about? Sometimes I plan better. Speaking of which, okay, we'll put a pin in today's topic, but I have to mention my daughter and I were talking yesterday about ADHD, and I don't know if she has it or not. I can't remember. She probably does. Seems like everybody does. And she said that something that I had said indicated that maybe I have ADHD. And I'm like, really? Seriously? And of course, me skipping around here with you like I'm doing and changing the name of the show over and over um, might indicate that I'm distractible. But she said, my daughter, who is really up on mental health things, both my daughters actually, she said that hyperfocus is one of the things that's in ADHD. And I was like, I thought that was for, I thought hyperfocus was people who are on the spectrum and most men. And she said, no, she said, it's also a symptom of ADHD. And I thought, well, that's interesting because I definitely, despite my jumping around here, definitely can hyperfocus. I can sink into something that I really, really love, like writing, and I'm gone. I mean, it's like meditation. It's like being hypnotized. When I'm writing, I can just I'm just gone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think I have a cat hair in my eyelash. Okay. Now, being The other thing my daughter said about it is if I do have ADHD at this point, what I'm doing seems to be working. So, what good is a diagnosis? I don't know. Maybe I could get some useful tools to decide once and for all on the name of the show. What did I put a pin in? The topic. Yes. So I came up with the topic. This was something that was kind of downloaded a while back. And when I say downloaded, I mean like during spray and pray time, which is when I'm in the shower, first get up in the morning and I'm like, hey, let's have some communication here. It's just a way to start my day. I'm communicating with the divine. I call them usually my angels and guides. So it's like, hey, thanks for waking me up. Thanks for a great day ahead. What do I need to know? That kind of thing. And of course, being a woo-woo intuitive psychic person, to me, this doesn't seem strange at all. And it's not religious. It's just like it's the way that I wake up. And a lot of times, not every day, but many days, I get divine downloads during that time. And so a lot of times they're really helpful. Oh my gosh, I have got one of those downloads, and it didn't happen during spray and pray time. It happened during a reading. I was giving a reading to my husband actually, and got some stuff that was it blew us both away. I mean, it was one of those sit there with my mouth open kind of things. I was truly agog. And that was, yeah. So that's coming up. I'm kind of letting it lie for a while. It's really, really big. It's about, if you've ever wondered, why are we here? If you've ever wondered, why are you here? I think I've got the answer. And what happens on the other side, yeah, like I said, it was an agog moment. So stay tuned for that. Um, Back to the divine downloads. That's a very special one that's coming up. All right, today's topic was a divine download at some point, and I don't remember when, but I wrote it down. And it's called The Spirit of Joy. Let's talk about the spirit of joy. Now, then, when I talk about the spirit of something, it came to me as the spirit of joy, but it's like thinking of anything, in this case, joy, as an energy so that it becomes an entity. Okay. The idea of something that is an energy becomes an entity. An example of this is an angel. So a lot of, I don't know, woo-woo people, let's just call us woo-woo people. A lot of people talk about angels, and I talk about angels in a broad term, but there are people who talk about specific angels and archangels, and calling on them for this and for that and the other thing. It's the same thing as calling on Apollo or any of the ancient gods. It's just assigning a name to that, right? It's assigning a name or an entity, an identity to that energy. Does that make sense? Okay. So think about Mercury was the god, was the messenger god, the god of communication, right? We have a planet named after him. And so in astrology, the planets' movements have effects on communication, among other things. And that is, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but that is something that is a part of astrology. So when there was a channeled message I gave him, this is a good channeled message. I'm going to grab the book. Hold on a sec. La 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 la. So this is a book. Yes, it's a book. It's a book. I wrote this a while back. I used to do something called channeling. I used to do channeling via email. And it's a long story about why I did it that way and how. So I won't tell you that this time, but maybe another time we'll talk about channeling. Let me add that to my topics because clearly I have ADHD and I can't remember. Page 9. Let's add channeling. Okay. So this book is a bunch of messages that I channeled on behalf of my clients. And after doing hundreds of them, at least, maybe thousands, I realized that a lot of them were perfect for a broader audience. So this is what I want to show you right now. Message number 21. And yes, this book is still available. All right. There's just a part of this that I'm going to read. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pertinent to what we're talking about with the spirit of joy. All right. The client asked, who are my angels? And she made a reference to an archangel. So the answer came through as you mentioned that you think of the archangel because of being born on that celebration day. So she was Catholic. She was born on St. Michaelmas, or whatever they call it. And so she felt like she had kind of like maybe St. Michael or Archangel Michael was her guardian angel, whatever, which is fine. If it means something to you, it means something to you. And let me repeat that. If it means something to you, it means something to you. Don't dismiss it because I say I don't believe it. Don't dismiss it because anyone says they don't believe it. If it means something to you, it means something to you. If you pick up this lipstick and you go, if this is my lucky lipstick, and when I wear this lipstick, I always have, great results for whatever you're trying to do, then that's your lucky lipstick. I'm not going to say, well, that's stupid. Lipstick doesn't make any difference. Well, whatever. It's none of my business. So anyway, if it means something to you, it means something. Okay. You mentioned that you think of the archangel because of being born on that celebration day. He is a human creation, although there is nothing wrong with the idea of him. His energy, as believed by human beings, does exist, just not quite as people make him to be. He is not a person with wings, for example. So I just wanted to mention that. This is called Channel 1. It is available on my website. It's also available in ebook form. So 137 messages from the universe. Ooh, great book for bibliomancy. Bibliomancy is when you go, I really need to know which lipstick to buy. Should I buy the purple one or the green one? And then you open it up, and wherever you open it up, that's going to be your answer. I don't know if that's really going to help us with lipstick. So now that we understand all of that, there's a cord on the floor. It's distracting me because I have ADHD. All right, back to the spirit of. So now you understand what I'm saying about Saint Michael or Archangel Michael. If that's what you want to do, if you say, well, I was born on this feast day for Saint Michael, and I feel like Saint Michael is my archangel, is my guardian angel, is my guide, is among my guides, great. Go and do that. Be that, feel that, know it, accept it. It's yours. Do it. And so that's where we are now, coming back to the spirit of joy. And this download came to me like, and maybe it was just even just those words, the spirit of joy. And I was like, oh, so I'm not talking about the spirit of, like in the spirit of camaraderie, in the spirit of goodwill. We're going to, not like that. The spirit of joy, meaning that you could give the spirit of joy a name. I like the name Joy personally. But you can name it and make your own goddess or your own guide or your own entity that you can call on. Like, I say all the time, when I'm doing angel card readings, I encourage people to use this phrase, and I say it for myself during spray and pray time and other times as well. And that little phrase is, I call on my angels and guides, as well as all those who have my best interests at heart. Again, that is, I call on my angels and guides, as well as all those who have my best interest at heart. Now, I made up the specific wording there, and you can change it to whatever works for you. But what I do with that, and saying angels and guides is just kind of those are just kind of my default words. I think of it as the divine collective, honestly, and also the ones who are sort of assigned to me, which actually I didn't read the rest of that, but it talks about who your angels are, who your guides are. So it doesn't matter what you call them. They are the non-physical entities who help you. They have not been human beings. But there's definitely something there. And I think you know what I'm talking about when I say that there is something that is the little voice inside your head, or that suddenly you get the impetus to do something, right? Or you get, like, how many times have you heard stories, or if this may have happened to you, where someone's driving and suddenly they go, oh, I should stop here even though the light's green. And then, somebody comes plowing through. Or, oh, I should take a different route, and they do, and then it turns out there was a big fire there, or, something like that. All those kinds of things that happen there's something going on there, and yeah, you can attribute it to ancient instincts, and I agree with that as well, but I also see those as being divine. So let's get back to the spirit of joy. I feel like I left a pin somewhere. Speaking of, since I'm being distractible today. Last night I was sewing. I was sewing a blankie for my grandson, and I do this for all the grandchildren. I've started a tradition, and so I was sewing. I was getting out my little grandson's name is Dominic, and I haven't met him yet. He was born last July, and that's the other side of it. So kind of cute. Anyway, I was getting ready to sew, and I have a little box of pins, and I dropped them all over the floor. Yep, dropped them all over the floor. That was good. That was good. I really just wanted to show off my blanket. The blanket that I made for the baby. All right, back to the spirit of joy. So the spirit of joy can be included in any kind of communication that you have or want to have with the divine. You can do that with anything, any energy. You can turn into an entity. Okay? You can take an energy, which is a thought, a feeling, a concept, and turn it in your mind, heart, soul into an entity and give it an identity. How do you like that? Talk about cool words. Okay. Energy becomes an entity, is given an identity. So try that. Try calling on the spirit of joy or the spirit of chocolate. We'll call her Coco. Call on those energies that you need in your situation. The energy of, like, what do you need? The energy of organization, the energy of being good with money. What do you call that? The energy of receiving. Ooh, receiving is big, big. The energy of worthiness. Oh my gosh, we got to give a name to the energy of worthiness. I think the energy of worthiness is very powerful and very, it has very good balance in yin and yang, because I feel like there's a strength, like the towering oak, it's very masculine energy, but there's also the softness of love and acceptance and connection and that's all part of worthiness. So it's such a wonderful word. So we need a name for the spirit of worthiness, which is your divine value. And I've got a class coming up on divine value. You need, see, what should we call it? I want to say William, but I want a unisex name. So let's call it Willow would work. Willow would work. Strong yet flexible. Worthiness. No. I'm going to work on that. And if you have a suggestion on what to call the spirit of worthiness, to give the energy an entity with an identity, let me know what your thoughts are for the spirit of worthiness. All right. So it's kind of a cool one, wasn't it? Yeah, it's kind of a cool one. I did want to mention one other thing about when I say, pardon me, I call on my angels and guides, as well as all those who have my best interests at heart. And I'm giving you that if you want to use it. The reason that I phrase it exactly that way is that not only am I not saying anybody who doesn't have my best interests at heart, stay away. I'm not saying no negative people, no, all the negative. As this woman I worked with once said, don't be giving me no double negative. I was very confused. But instead of saying, I'm not saying in my little call to communication, I'm not saying negative things stay away. Negative things stay away. If you don't have my best interest heart, just stay away. I don't say that. I don't even acknowledge that such a thing exists. All I say is all those who have my best interests at heart. And that's it. All right. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you. And what shall we call the spirit of worthiness? All right. Thanks so much. And now I will, one more thing. I mentioned a divine value class. I will very shortly have a whole compendium of masterclasses that I've done available to you on my website. So look for that. And like I said in the beginning, if you're not on my mailing list, be sure to go to mojomedium.com and get on the mailing list so that you'll know about these things when they happen. News is news, right? All the woo-woo news you can use. All right, we're done for now with Something Woo-Woo This Way Comes. I will talk to you soon. Bye.